Uncommitted juniors and seniors who are stuck at 92 to 95 EV and want to jump up to 100 plus, listen up. As a college strength and conditioning coach, I see this all the time. You have access to everything: gym memberships, private coaches, travel ball, high-level facilities, and your family has invested into your development. But you're still not hitting 100 plus EV. That's because it is not about resources, it's actually about structure and a foundation. Let me paint this picture and you tell me if it sounds familiar. You have an LA Fitness membership. You also have a garage gym at home with a squat rack and some dumbbells. You also have access to your high school weights room. You're working with your hitting coach once a week. You're doing speed training with another coach also once a week. And maybe you even have a strength coach you see occasionally. You're deeply invested in travel ball, showcases, and perfect game tournaments. You've also got multiple bats this season, just trying to see which one feels right. You have time, you have access, and you have resources, but you don't have a structured routine or plan that ties it all together. And since we're so close to the season, in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can structure and tie all those things together as we get into the season. So all that access actually translates to 100 plus exit velocity. Let's go. So what happens when you have access to everything but zero structure? Monday, you go to LA Fitness, hit a random lift that maybe you see on Instagram, I don't know. Tuesday, you have your hour-long hitting lesson. You typically only hit soft toss during these lessons. You work on the same thing every single week. Wednesday, you're tired, you skip the gym. Thursday, you have your speed training lesson, again, 1 hour, one time per week. Generally not enough to increase any speed adaptations. Friday is game day, but you show up to the game feeling kind of flat. Saturday, you go into your garage and hit a lift. Maybe it's legs, maybe chest, you don't really know. Now you're definitely working, and you're investing time and money into your development. But your exit velo is still stuck because access without structure is just expensive chaos. Realistically, I know this because I lived it. When I played, I had a hitting coach, I had a pitching coach, and a strength coach. My family invested into my development. I had gyms to go to. I basically had everything I needed, but none of it was actually coordinated and none of it was structured at all. My hitting coach tweaked my swing. My strength coach gave me workouts, but they didn't talk to each other and they did not make a cohesive plan for me. And in the season, dude, don't even get me started. I did the exact same things I did in the off season. I lifted the same way, same volume, same exercises, same intensity. I thought that's what you're supposed to do, just keep grinding. But by the end of the season, I was just flat and honestly, I was hurt. My exit velo dropped, my power was gone. And when showcases came around, quite frankly, coaches did not see the best version of me. What those coaches saw were a tired and weaker version of myself. And I ended up undercommitted, not because I didn't work hard and certainly not because I didn't have access, but because I didn't have structure. And truthfully, I did not prioritize the correct things in my development. And that's what most uncommitted juniors and seniors are doing right now. They have everything, but it's genuinely all scattered. Here's what I tell all of my college and remote athletes, that more does not equal better. You don't need another gym membership. You do not need another baseball bat. You need a structured plan that makes sure all your resources work together. And that structure actually changes during the season. Because here's the thing, in-season training is not so much more about building, it's more about maintaining and also making sure you're the best you when you step on that field. Players, even with resources and access, do not understand this. They train the exact same way they did in the off-season, in-season. And then they burn out or they stop training entirely. So you wanna go from 93 miles an hour exit velocity to 100 plus. That's at least 7 miles an hour. That's not a swing tweak. That is like full power gains. And if you lose power during the season, you're gonna move backwards. So here is the exact structure you need. In-season training has 3 goals. Number 1 is to maintain. Do not lose what you built up over the off season. Goal number 2 is to prime. You need to prime your nervous system for performance, meaning you need to show up to your games feeling explosive. And goal number 3 is to prevent. You need to prevent injuries and stay healthy during a long stretch of season. You're not trying to add 50 pounds to your deadlift during the season. You're not even really trying to build muscle. And this requires a completely different approach than the off season. So here's how my college athletes structure their in-season training. So typically we go 3 days a week. Day 1 is lower body focused and acceleration based. With the acceleration part, that typically means we run short distance sprints and make sure that we're building power in a horizontal fashion. On this day, we'll either do a split squat or a deadlift, and then most likely a front squat. Those compound movements are all gonna have 4 sets of 3 to 4 reps. Also 80 to 90% of their max. We gotta make sure we're moving heavy weight in the season so we maintain power and strength. If you keep the reps low, you're not gonna get sore. Just make sure you're moving quickly. Your lower body power and acceleration is the engine to your exit velocity and performance out on the field. This day keeps you explosive without accumulating fatigue. Day 2 is upper body focused and top speed orientated. Top speed refers to longer distance sprints and overall vertical capacity. Typically, my bench players who don't typically sprint during game day because they're not in the game will run these top speed sprints. And for my starters, they might do a vertical jump series or something to get them in a vertical plane. I love to do a push press on this day or a split jerk. After that, we go into barbell bench and then some kind of row. With the upper body, it's really important to keep it mobile. So we're definitely gonna throw in some mobilization exercises for the scaps and the rotator cuff on this day. Again, we're keeping sets at 4 and reps at 3 to 4, 85 to 90%. With all of our power movements on all these days, I do like to pair them with a med ball exercise in the same plane or same movement pattern. An easy example is going to be with bench press. I like to do a med ball chest pass, and that's gonna be supersetted, so right after the bench. And day 3 is going to be our primer lift. Primer is just a word for exciting the nervous system, getting it prepared for competition. Here needs to be the most explosive day of your week with the lightest load. So explosive trap bar jumps, banded pogo hops are all things I like to program on this day. It's a good idea to throw in a majority of your med ball work on this day as well, or anything in a rotational plane. I like to end this day with an emphasis on mobility and activation work. This is the difference between showing up to Saturday's game off or completely ready to go. For days 1 and 2, the intensity should be very high, the volume should be very low, and the load should also be very high. So you're moving quickly and giving your max effort. Everything you're doing is in a low rep range, and you're moving heavy weight. For day 3, that intent should be maxed out, low volume, and low load. So you should be moving very quickly on this day, should have low rep ranges, and low to moderate weight. This whole structure ensures you maintain power without burning out. This is not about your equipment, this is not about your facility, this is about your plan. Now here's exactly how it works with everything else you're doing. Your hitting coach, he's handling your mechanics, but this is building the body that powers those mechanics. Your speed coach, he's working on your sprinting technique, but this is building the force output within that speed. Your travel ball team is giving you the reps and exposure, but this is making sure you can handle those reps without breaking down. Now all of your resources are working together, not overlapping, they are together. So that's the difference between scattered effort and actually structuring your development. Here's what happens if you don't structure your in-season training. You lose power. Take it from me. I showed up weaker to spring showcases than I was in the fall, and coaches do notice. This is not only what you do in the gym, but this is who you are becoming. Your ideal self and the one who hits 100 plus EV. He gets recruited and does not train randomly. He has structure, knows exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Every time you walk into the gym, you have a responsibility to embody that player. You need to begin to act like the college-ready athlete that you can be. Not hoping, but you need to execute a plan that is specifically tailored towards you and your goals. Here is where we're at. You're not lacking resources. You're not lacking access or work ethic. You're lacking a priority to structurize your training. If you're an uncommitted junior or senior, and you're stuck in the low to mid 90s for your exit velocity, and you want to get to 100 plus and get recruited, you need to be ready to structure everything into one cohesive plan. I can help you with that like I've done with dozens of athletes. Link in the description to apply to work with me. I work with players who have access, who have invested in their development, but just needs a plan to tie it all together and fill in the holes that is sinking their ship. And that's what I do, so let's get you to 100 plus EV.